Oh, me? I just got an A on the group project. I feel great.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Jack Nutter. Welcome back to the Nut Take. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, the reason I started this, John Koff. How you doing, John?
Guys? What's going on, man? Excited to be here. Heard a lot about the show, and I'm excited to start talking some basketball here.
Man. The NBA starting. Like I told you earlier, I've been looking forward to this for months. Like, it's truly been all I can think about, and not every game has been cinema, but it's really been it's been all I've needed, man. It's lived up to the hype. We've had what, 3 different primetime games going to overtime.
Yeah, 2 double overtime games, especially the Thunder. And then there was I think the Spurs went to overtime the other night too, right?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the Spurs. It was the Warriors Nuggets last night. And
then
about that
both
game?
Thunder
That game,
games.
I know you're a Nuggets fan, so what was something you take away from how the bench unit looked? I know that was a problem last year, and I know that Jokic struggled, but with the bench, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I know. Even with a loss, like, I feel good. Like, immediately after it happened, like, obviously I was feeling down, but for Jokic to be able to go to the bench and for me to, like, still feel okay about the 5 players who are on the court is huge. Like, just seeing, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, just not my heart dropping. Like, it's Valanciunas, it's Hardaway. You usually have Murray in there with a second unit. And then, like, Bruce Brown. Like, it's just nice to have people I trust. But even with the loss, like, I think the Warriors played a pretty perfect game. Like, you had great shooting from Jimmy Butler, Draymond, Al Horford, and then I want to say you had a crazy Steph game, but the way he's looked, like, this might be normal.
It's just Steph Curry for you. He's a top 10 player in
Yeah.
the world, so. I think what I take away from that game, though, was I feel like they should use a little more Valanciunas. I think getting him involved more of Jokic kind of taking some pressure off him with the defense. Would like to see more of him, but maybe because the Warriors play smaller, you got to play smaller as the Nuggets, and you got to kind of use your versatility as best you could. But I definitely hope to see more Valanciunas.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, but it's Jokic's team. You want him playing 36 to 40 minutes a game, and so while we have seen success with the double big, I think, especially like you said, with smaller lineups, it's kind of hard to scale down and defend those high quality perimeter defenders or offenders when you have 2 just massive dudes in Jokic and Valanciunas who have very slow foot speed. So,
but a big takeaway I take away from that game is the shooting of Aaron Gordon, a guy that came into the league as a 25% three-point shooter his first couple of years of Orlando. Now with the Nuggets, he's starting to blossom as a three-point shooter, shooting 10 for 11. I mean, this guy had a career game with 50 points. Before that, his career game with the Nuggets was only a 38-point game. With Orlando, it was 43. Comes last night, drops 50. I mean, I would have liked to see him have the ball more overtime, but the guy was 2 3-pointers away from breaking the Nuggets' all-time record, which is held by J.R. Smith. So how did you feel about his progression as a shooter since he's been in Denver?
man, it's huge. I kept all off season. I kept seeing these workout videos you get from the players. Like, you get the Ben Simmons shooting threes, and you get these random workout videos, and you never really believe it. But I kept seeing Aaron Gordon take these crazy step back threes and just pulling into some crazy jumpers, and his shot looks different, man. He just looks confident. He looks like he's like that's something he's really added into his game. I mean, we saw a huge progression from him last year. Like, he was taking those, especially in the playoffs, and knocking them down. Like, it was a reliable shot. So if he can, I mean, obviously we're not going to see 10 for 11 again, but if that can be something that is a true threat, it goes huge for the Nuggets. Obviously Cam Johnson struggled last night, but I think that's something that as he gets a feel for the team more, he'll be more comfortable and knock those shots down.
Yeah, it's definitely a new offense, and you're playing with the Nets, a struggling team, so you're just kind of playing for yourself at that point. I think when you come to a winning basketball team like the Denver Nuggets that like to play a lot through their big man, they like to move the ball's always moving, it's something he's going to have to adjust to, and I think he eventually will, but like I always say, the first week of the NBA season is the most meaningless. You just it's basically an extension of the preseason. You're still trying to figure out your lineups and how the players are going to gel together, so you may not even be the starter. You could come off the bench, you never know, so I think that Cam Johnson will be just fine, but I think this is the year Aaron Gordon is going to be an all-star. I think if he just keeps his shooting up, it's all he needs to do. Let's get that shooting up. I think he could be a 20-point per game scorer. I think this offense is under David Adelman is a little better than Mike Malone, because under Mike Malone was really iso ball, stick at the Jokic. But now it seems under David Adelman the ball is constantly moving. So that's something I like to see. It gets him a good open shot. He's moving the ball off the ball a lot more, so he's always done well in his career. So I think this is the year for Aaron Gordon. So
Yeah, no, that's funny you say that, because in like the middle part of the second quarter, I said to my brother, I was like, I think this is the year that Jamal Murray is an all-star, because he looks really comfortable. He always comes into the year out of shape, like he's missing shots. He's not himself, and he looks really good this year. So I think as long as he's playing up to the standards that he wants to play at, and then Gordon's playing the way he's playing, and then Jokic is Jokic. I mean, even after a loss, I feel good about this team. I do want to transition into another team that's on a complete different scope. You mentioned the Nets, and I don't know how much Nets you've watched this year, but
very little.
I think we all, on the outside going into the season, were like, this is going to be just Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr. just chucking shots. And or Cam Thomas. Yeah, I do that all the time. It's literally what it is. Like I've watched a lot of both of their games just because I've kind of been intrigued on how Michael Porter Jr. is going to do it in a completely new setting. And he put up close to 30 tonight. Cam Thomas put up like
30.
Cam Thomas, had a crazy game. But it's just not a winning formula, because it's like give it to one of them and then it's just iso ball, and then there's 8 seconds left on the shot. And while Cam Thomas was making tough shots on a night like tonight, and so was Porter, like that team is going to be horrendous this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think
so bad.
I think it's gonna be a lot of that this year with them being a young and experienced team. Even their coaching's young, but I think all you're really gonna want to see is their 5 first-round picks playing into something. Hopefully, either like a trade asset, or I think Michael Porter Jr. He's not gonna finish at the end of the year at the Brooklyn Nets. I think he might get traded at some point or even bought out. But I think he dropped 31 tonight, and I think Cam Thomas, you're gonna get out of him. He's gonna give you 20 to 30 a night. But the problem with him doesn't pass. I would like to see more Igor Demon. I know he started 2 nights ago, but then he came off the bench today, so they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with him. But Igor Demon just displayed good passing. He's just got to work on his shooting. So I think the Nets are a young team. I don't know if they're heading in the right direction, but they're going to have a lot of cap space and picks in the future. So you just got to really develop these players and pursue a superstar and make it a desirable destination for players to come here.
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it. I mean, I think it's going to be tough for Porter to get moved. His contract is massive. He's making like $38 million. And there's no contending team that would want to take that on. And, I mean, you said buyout. That's semi-realistic, but I think he has 3 to 4 years left on his contract. But actually, Igor Demon, he was, which they said on the broadcast, all offseason I've heard Demon, but they kept calling him Duman, like Igor Duman. And it's the Nets broadcast, so you'd think they would know, but I don't know. But
he was before he was drafted.
Yeah, he's actually been stepping into those threes. He was 3 for 5 tonight. He's been hitting them. He's been knocking them down. Zaire Williams was 6 for 9.
Zaire Williams had over 25 points again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really just you got to see how the young core goes. But another team that I think we're forgetting about from our last thing we're talking about is the Golden State Warriors. I know you're not too high on them. I know you don't like a lot of their players, and you picked the under on their wins, which was it 49? I think
it was less than that actually, but it might have been that.
I think what we're seeing a lot of the Warriors this year is their chemistry's kind of evolved, and I think with another year to pause, Jimmy Butler, he was like a new toy they had last year, so he was still trying to find his way. But now it kind of seems like the Draymond, Butler, and Curry trio is kind of working together and getting Curry more looks. Before he would be doubled a lot, blitz, and now you go to a guy like Jimmy Butler, a guy that can get to the rim, draw a foul, get free throws. So I think that's helped Curry a lot, and I think that's why he's been so fresh and been able to have these multiple 30-point performances, especially late in the stretch, because he's got fresh legs and he's able to do what Steph Curry does. So now we can transition back from what we were talking about. But.
No, it's okay. I want to stay on that because that leads right into my. I have a couple hot takes. I have 3 main ones, so I'll start on this one. And I think Steph Curry is going to be either 1 or 2 in MVP voting this year. he obviously over the years hasn't really lost anything, but this is the year that, like you said, it's the chemistry's gelled, and both Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, they both know that this is Steph's world. They're living in Steph's world. And so in order for them to succeed as a team, Steph has to be at his highest. And so, like, it's always, whenever they get the ball, they're cognizant of where Steph at, and he looks fresh as ever, man. Like, he's knocking down shots like crazy. Even in the loss tonight, he had 35 points. I see his averages being beyond 30, and I think he sneaks back into that conversation. Against the Nuggets, like, he was knocking down threes, but not only he was finding teammates. He was great off the dribble, finishing at the rim. There was a possession that Christian Brown, like, absolutely boxed him, and then he got to the rim and finished over him. So I think Steph Curry will be in MVP contention this year. What you think?
I definitely agree. I wouldn't say top 2. I think maybe more to the lines of top 5. I know with his age, he might start to slow down in the season. I know that he might not even qualify for the MVP with the games played being a mandate now. So I know they give him a lot of rest days, but I think more of the focus for the Warriors is just keeping Curry healthy for the playoffs, because that was a problem for them last year when they ran into Minnesota. They actually won game 1 when he got hurt, but you didn't know what more they could have done because Curry had missed the series. So I think the number one thing for the Warriors is to keep Curry healthy and make sure he's sustainable throughout the playoffs. So I think the MVP thing, it's definitely a possibility, but I think in terms of top 2, I think he might be a little more down the line, like top 5 or top 10. But I think he's definitely a candidate.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I can see it, man. He looks good. He looks good. So another player that had high anticipation, Cooper Flagg, man. What's going on?
I think, well, he's a young player. He's the youngest player in the NBA. I think it's 18 and a half years old, and he's turning, I think it might be turning 19 in like 3 months. But I think it's going to be an adjustment for him, and I also think they need to start D'Angelo Russell next to him. I don't think him initiating the offense at such a young age, coming out of college the way he did, at how young he is going to benefit him in the long run. I think he needs a little more looks maybe coming off the bench, if anything, and also just playing a true point guard in the NBA, because that's just not what he is yet. So I think give him some more looks at the 3 or the 2, but I do not think he's a starting point guard in the NBA. I think he needs to be set up. He can't be set up by other players.
Yeah, no, he definitely needs time to develop. I mean, I think he already can be a premier wing in this league. Just his, like, comfortableness, his defensive versatility. He's been hitting threes. But that's my second hot take right there. Is I think this Mavs team is going to be really bad. Like, I just watched basically every second of them play against the Wizards. I don't like how the offense is run. Like you said, they're running it through Cooper Flagg, which it's good to get your rookie comfortable and like in the flow of the game. But then you just have Anthony Davis sitting in the corner half the time. Like, I know it's been several years since Anthony Davis has been the best player on a team, but he's still Anthony Davis. Like, just because he played with LeBron doesn't mean he got worse. I wish that they would play more into him. But, I mean, yeah, like you said, Cooper Flagg's not ready to be that primary ball handler. He had several bad turnovers, especially late in this game. He did go on a stretch where he was knocking down shots, but without Kyrie on this team, I don't see this team making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Kyrie's supposed to come back, around January, I think it is?
Yeah, January, February.
So, yeah, I think they really just need to try to find a true initiator of the offense, whether it's D'Angelo Russell or Jaden Hardy. I think they need to just find a true initiator, because I think that's what they're lacking right now. In terms of Cooper Flagg's age, he's getting different looks that you wouldn't see in college or high school, so it's a lot of pressure on a young player, especially your first overall pick, and he's only 18 years old, so I think lay some pressure off of him, let him learn the game truly. If he even coming off the bench might benefit him, even though it might not look right, your first overall pick coming off the bench, but I think they need to let him learn the game. He's supposed to be your franchise player, and let him figure out the game and not force him into a bad situation.
Yeah. On a complete separate note, if you take a look back, this rookie class right now looks so good. Like,
it does, yeah.
It looks really good. Trey Johnson was showing out for the Wizards today. He had a stretch where he was just unconscious, hitting shots. Jeremiah Fears is so comfortable. He's someone that I thought was going to have a really slow start just because of the way that he plays. He wasn't really knocking down threes in preseason, but he's he's got this little like he gets into the paint and then no matter how big his defender is, he hits a little fade and he knocks it down every time. He looks so comfortable. And like I this is weird to say, but this Pelicans team is another team that I've like taken a lot of time to watch, and I feel like the commentators like him, and I feel like when you look at the box score, he looks good. But I think Jordan Poole has absolutely sucked the life out of this team. There is no ball movement with him. He just does not look good. Like he doesn't understand that. Like last year, I really thought this team was gonna be so good because if you, in hindsight, like Trey Murphy III went on a crazy run. He was hitting threes last year, averaging like 25 points a game before he got hurt. Zion Williamson is he looks better than ever. Like he looks in shape. He looks good.
Does. Yeah.
And then, I mean, they have several good rookies. Herb Jones, I think, is a very underrated player. We know the defense that he has. But
Can't forget about Derek Queen.
Yeah, no, exactly. He had a lot of burn tonight because Yves Missy was missing time. So he was out there. He was actually out there in crunch time. They closed the game with Fears and Queen. But like Poole comes off that screen and he's like, I'm getting my shot no matter what. And it's just like I really thought Jordan Poole being in a situation like this would change the player that he was, and that the shot chucking that he did in Washington was just because he was in Washington, but I don't think it has.
Well, yeah, I think Jordan Poole is truly a six man. I think he should be coming off the bench to provide a spark, and he should be running a unit himself. I don't think he's going to gel with the starters very well. I don't know when DeJounte Murray's supposed to come back, or if he comes back this year off the Achilles injury. But I think they definitely need to look at another position for the point guard starting role. So, because when you look in Golden State, Jordan Poole, most of the time he's running that unit. Even in Washington, he was running his own unit, and that was also different because they didn't have the talent that New Orleans has. When you have Herb Jones, when you have Zion Williamson, you have Trey Murphy. So, you definitely don't want a guy that's just going to come out of the court when you're trying to make a comeback happen. He's just going to chalk up a three. So that's something you want to avoid. But I definitely think he's a spark plug off the bench. So if DeJounte Murray comes back, I think that's obviously what's going to happen. So they just got to be patient. Hopefully they figure this out and they revolve around it. But even Fears you could try to play him at point guard. I don't know if that would be too beneficial. But I do understand that Jordan Poole is a heat check shot taker, and he does it a lot, and it could kill the game. But he also could benefit from his 3-point shooting and scoring. But
no, I think Fears would fit right into that role. I don't think they'll do it, but because he just, I mean, even as a rookie, he understands that, like, I got to get it to my vets, like, I got to get it to my guys. And a lineup of him, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Zion, and then Yves Missy, I think would be perfect. But, I mean, you framed it perfectly. I think Jordan Poole is a six-man. He could be a six-man on a good team, but he's a six-man.
So he was a six-man on the championship-winning team. I think that's what his best role is. So
Yeah. I'm excited to... Keeping with this rookie class, I'm excited to see what VJ Edgecombe can do.
VJ Edgecombe, I think, is my rookie of the year pick. I think he's going to finish the year averaging 20. I think that highly of him, and his work ethic is probably the best of any of the rookies I've seen. He literally came to live here to be a basketball
player.
He's known as the generator. Even though I'm a Knicks fan, I don't really like the Sixers, but I see him being the best rookie out of this draft class, and I see him being the rookie of the year this year.
Yeah, they play the Hornets tomorrow. That'll be a fun game. Another rookie. Man, Ryan Kalkbrenner, the Creighton product, was getting burned. He looked really good. He's so lengthy, and the fact that the Hornets were able to go get a starting center in the beginning of the second round, and teams like the Lakers, who are so desperate for a center, passed up on him, it's great for them. They got the exciting whites over there in Charlotte. Man, Con Knipple. Yeah, exactly.
I know that he's been struggling shooting the three ball, which is pretty surprising that's what he's known for. But I think he shot pretty well against Brooklyn the other night.
Yeah, he played a good game.
Was he 3 for 4?
I don't know that he shot that well, but he played well. He had around 10 points, both him and Kalkbrenner.
I can see the Hornets being like a sneaky AFC this year with the young talent they have. Brandon Miller hopefully being healthy this year. I see them being an exciting team, and I think they'll be in the mix for a playoff spot, especially how open the East could be. So,
all right, as my resident Knicks fan, first I want to hear from you your perspective on the Knicks, just like how the offense has shifted, and like just what you think about Coach Mike Brown.
Yeah, I actually love Mike Brown a lot. Actually, like whenever I talk to any Knicks fans, I would always say this is the guy I wanted them to bring in because I know how he brought the explosiveness of offense to Sacramento. But I think the one thing that held them back with the Kings was the lack of wings they had. So that was always an issue, and the lack of defense there. So now he could run his offense, and the difference between the Knicks this year and last year was very Jalen Brunson oriented. So if Jalen Brunson didn't have the ball, the offense would fail. And Jalen Brunson last 2 years under Tom Thibodeau, led the NBA with time of possession, which means he just basically held the ball the entire shot clock, and he would take a really bad shot or kick it out to the corner. But I know that Tom Thibodeau ran a lot of ISO side angles, so basically where it's a one guy offense, everybody else get in the corner, and Jalen Brunson's just gonna try to drive and take a shot himself. So this year with Mike Brown, he made it a goal to where Jalen Brunson's not even gonna touch the ball, bringing it up the court. It's gonna be Mikal Bridges, it's gonna be Deuce McBride, even Karl-Anthony Towns. So you just want to save your superstar throughout the duration of the game. So that's something I really like, and they also brought the pace up, something that the Knicks were really bad at the last 5 years under Tom Thibodeau. They're one of the bottom teams in terms of pace. So bringing that pace also provides a lot of offensive rebounding because you're getting back down there fast. You're also getting a lot of transitional threes, something that they didn't really have. So that's something I've been a really big fan of, and Mike Brown's done a great job bringing here.
Yeah, I find it crazy how underrated Cat is because when you talk to people that like actually pay attention to like the NBA in general, I feel like they know how good he is, but man, he's a top 15 player. Like he's so good, and I feel like that conversation needs to be had more.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more talented players in the NBA, and he's got a lot of traits of a guy like Jokic or even Sabonis in terms of passing, but it's just not known as much because he might not have been in that much of a role like that, like with Minnesota or under Tom Thibodeau. But now you're seeing under Mike Brown, he's lining up a lot in the left wing, is back to the basket, being more of a passer. And I think today he had like 6 assists, in the game before he had like 4. So last year's only averaged like 2 a game, but you're seeing him being used more as a passer to where how Isaiah Hartenstein was being used in the Knicks. But I think he's definitely under Mike Brown getting his talent more unlocked than I think of years before.
Yeah. So my second question to you, who do you fear most to contend with the Knicks in the East?
Unreal. I really only think the Knicks are in their own way at this point. I think last year they were in their own way as well. I think if they just played their bench, they get through the Pacers. But if there was a team that was giving them the most fight, it was the Pistons last season. I think that they handled the Celtics way better, and even the Pacers, they played better. The Pistons, their physicality is just something you couldn't avoid, and if the Pistons could just evolve more of their game this year, I think they give the biggest threat. But even the Magic, too, known for their defense. So the physicality of other teams is always going to be a problem. So I would go for like the Magic and Pistons.
Yeah, one of the more entertaining games I've watched of the year was the Thompson Bowl tonight. The Pistons played the Rockets, and it was just a scrum of a game. Jalen Duren, Amen Thompson, like after a rebound, came down and like slapped the crap out of Duren as he was going up, and then like Duren came up and pushed him, and then the very next play, like Duren just cocked back and punched him in the face and got ejected.
Oh wow!
And like it was like the second quarter, but Paul Reed came in and played an incredible game.
I've seen that. I know KD went off tonight too. He had
but the Pistons ended up winning.
That was a surprising win. When I saw that, I was like, and that's something I've not seen. And I think they were down by like double digits at some point too.
Yeah, this Rockets team misses Fred VanVleet. As much as KD is an initiator and is instant offense, they just don't like. It just still seems so clunky at times.
How do you think Asar's handled being like the point guard role this year?
I think Amen's been fine. He just doesn't have a reliable jumper. Like the spacing is pretty bad because he comes down and they just don't respect his shot, and he's not really taking it. And even when he gets open opportunities in the corner, he's not really knocking them down. I mean, obviously when he gets inside and he's got a favorable matchup, he's had several and ones and he can finish. But man, if him or his brother could grab a jump shot, they'd be incredible.
Do you think the Rockets are going to look towards more Reed Shepherd down the line of the season instead of Asar Thompson, looking for a more spaces shooter and a guy that can initiate the offense better?
I think it'll depend because in that first game, Reed Shepherd was struggling. He was taking some shots he just shouldn't have. It's just like, why are you taking a fadeaway three with 10 seconds on the shot clock when you have KD? It didn't make sense. But today he was a lot better. He was hitting threes. He was kind of being some deep threes too. He was kind of being the shot maker that they need. But I don't think that he, at this point and with his size, can be the like play initiator and the playmaker that they kind of needed, and that Fred VanVleet was.
Yeah, he's definitely also a more lethal shooter, as you saw like in the 7-game series versus the Warriors. A lot of times he was the go-to guy down the stretch. Now they're kind of missing that. So it'd be interesting to see what they're going to go to. I don't think Asars could be the viable point guard option. I think they should go towards more.
Amen.
I think Reed option would be a more viable option down the stretch, but I definitely think he's more considered a rookie this year with the limited playing time he had last year. And this is also their third overall pick, so it's someone they thought highly of. So I think I would like to see more Reed Shepherd, and if anything, less of the double bigs, because the shooting's going to be a problem, and KD needs to be in a more spacious lineup to be able to do what he needs to do to get to the mid-range spots. With the paint being clogged, it's kind of hard for him to try to get to his spots and, hit it to his name.
Yeah, no, I know KD is considered a tough shot maker, but man, every single one of his shots, especially in the mid-range, is contested by at least one or two high-level defenders. And
yeah, the Rockets keep this up, he might demand another trade this year. So I think they got to figure out something at the point guard spot. But
no, he won't. Don't say that.
They're definitely a very talented team. I think they'll figure it out, especially with Ime Udoka, one of the better head coaches in the NBA. So
yeah. Moving on to the second team that you mentioned, a team that I chose as my team in the East, my favorite team to watch in the East, and my pick to make the finals, if it's not the Knicks, is the Orlando Magic. They've been a confusing team. They're 2-0. And as good as they've looked, they've also been questionable at times. They've had to come back and I believe both of their wins. But Apollo struggled. I think that's kind of the main source of that.
They actually lost today.
They lost? Wait, they did. Who were they playing?
The Hawks.
I watched that. Oh, yeah, because Trae Young. They did lose that game. Apollo's struggling. Franz looks far and above Paulo as the best player on that team. But my biggest takeaway is even on a minute restriction, Jalen Suggs looks really good. His defense is so impactful. Like he's
probably top 3 defensive guard in the league.
So good. He looks so good. His effort, he always is giving effort. He's like if he can just consistently bring his offense, he's so good for this team because even like off the bench, Anthony Black is essentially the same. Like he's the defensive guard but has very limited offense. But yeah.
But Anthony Black brings more of a passing aspect than Jalen Suggs will bring. I feel like Jalen Suggs is more known as like how Drew Holiday was with the Celtics.
Yeah.
I think what the Magic, the problem they're running into is initiated offense as well because Banchero can do that, but the problem with Banchero is known as a high turnover player, and that's going to get the Magic behind the games. And the 3-point shooting wasn't that great last year, and they're hoping with Desmond Bane this year that it's going to make a difference. But I don't know how much of a difference it's really going to make when the rest of the team can't shoot either. So they've just got to figure out the 3-point shooting. I think that's the big problem with them, and that keeps them behind the games. Even though their defense kind of makes up for it sometimes, but they definitely need to still get that 3-point shooting game going, and it's been a struggle the first 2 games.
Yeah, and Desmond Bane looked like the perfect addition in Game 1, and he kind of struggled today. He struggled from 3, but I mean that's gonna happen. Kind of like you said. As much as they did need the shooting and got that in the offseason, they also kind of needed more of a guard play initiator, and Desmond Bane has tried to play that role, but
yeah,
it's not worked out. No, yeah, he struggled. Like coming off screens, he doesn't really create any space. But I mean, I'm hopeful for them to figure it out.
They try more Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones is a good passer, but I don't think you're going to start Tyus Jones. You're still going to start Jalen Suggs. Like that's going to be your starting 5. But definitely need to figure it out in terms of who's getting who open and who's going to initiate the offense. But I think they'll be a good team. I think 50 wins seems about right for them. But yeah, they definitely got to figure out the 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
That killed them against Boston last year. So.
Yeah, how did Boston look today? With that being on television, I didn't really get to see much
The
of it.
Celtics, I think one thing they're really struggling is obviously they're missing their 30 points per game scorer. Jaylen Brown, he can kind of carry the load of the scoring, but I think what he's running into is also missing guys like Porzingis. Drew Holiday's not there anymore. Derek White is struggling from three this year. I think the problem with Derek White a lot, he's trying to draw too many fouls in 3-point attempts, like where he'll lean into a defender and try to draw a 3-point foul, which I'd never seen before. I think he's the only guy that does this. But no, I think he struggled with trying to create his own shot because he's the main focus now. There's no other 3-point shooting threat, and they're also undersized. When they have I can't even pronounce this guy's name. It's like Exempta. You know what I'm talking about?
Nemes Keita.
Yeah. They also have Chris Boucher out there, so it's like
Yeah.
they're trying a lot of different fits of different lineups. I think they used 4 new players today, as the broadcast mentioned. They saw Hugo Gonzalez, their late first-round pick. He was actually guarding Jalen Brunson the entire time he was in the game, which he didn't look too bad. But I think what he's kind of running into was the rookie mistake of falling for easy head fakes and pump fakes and everything. So he was getting a lot of fouls. But yeah, I don't think Boston's going to be a playoff team this year. I think if they should try to consider starting Anfernee Simons and maybe going small, put a Jaylen Brown even at the 4, even consider that. I don't even know if it would work. But I think they need to maximize the offensive talent they currently have, but they don't have much, and they're running into a big man problem. So Chris Boucher and how do you say his name?
Nemes Keita was good. He was good in the first game, and he wasn't bad today.
The offensive rebound difference, I think, was 20-2, and Josh Hart came in. He played 18 minutes and had 14 rebounds, so I think they definitely need to work on their rebounding problems.
That's fair.
But their defense looked good. I think their defense looked really well.
You took the words out of my mouth. I understand that Pritchard has been with this team, and he's been their guy, and that he's a good offensive player, but I want them to
another 6 men.
I want them to turn to Simons. I mean, he looked really good in
20
game
points
1.
per game scored. I think definitely should have started.
I agree. Like, no, yeah. I was saying that all off season though. Like they kept saying that they said pretty much from the beginning that Simons would come off the bench in favor of Pritchard, and I just thought that was a mistake. I've always liked Anfernee Simons, and I hope they make the playoffs. I hope he gets a chance to showcase his skills, and I hope he's able to be placed in that starting role.
I think that would definitely be in their best interest because I know Payton Pritchard's also undersized, so it's very easy to hunt him. He's an underrated defender. I don't think he's a bad defender by any means, but when he struggles with shooting, he's not really making up for his struggle with shooting with playmaking, and I think that's what's kind of hurting Boston right now. It kind of just seems out of place, and it seems at times that he's had the ball more than Jaylen Brown's had it. So maybe go to him more than going to Payton Pritchard or just starting Anfernee Simons, but that's what I really take away from them.
Yeah. Man, this is Luka's season. Luka Doncic looks so good, even in that loss.
Got in shape.
He looks like Dirk said it in like the halftime report. He just looks comfortable. He looks like he feels good, and I mean he must feel good because he's on fire. He threw up 49 tonight, making shots for himself, making shots for others. Just. Like tonight was the perfect game for the Lakers. I don't know what Minnesota was on. Like Luka was getting everything he wanted, everything he needed, and then as soon as he went to the bench, it was Austin Reeves' world, and Austin Reeves was just cooking them too. Like it seems like Jaden McDaniels was just struggling. But after game 1, I was not high on the Lakers at all. I was fearful of what their season would look like, but they had a pretty good bounce back today.
They played the Warriors, right? Yeah. So I think what they ran into there is obviously you're playing Steph Curry, and that's a different matchup. It's harder to find guys to guard Steph Curry, and I feel like stopping Anthony Edwards, in my opinion. But I think the big difference in Luka Doncic this year than last year was obviously him being in shape. But not only is he in shape, he's also playing better defense. I think he's, at this point in these first 2 games, it's the best defense I saw for him. So I think that's a big improvement. He's not going to be a guy that's getting hunted anymore. He's also not a guy that's last in transition because he's in shape, and his offense looks really good. He looks like he's coming in the year prepared, and he's looking like he knows what this offense is doing, and he's being the leader of the team. And I think once LeBron comes back, well, it's going to be an interesting dynamic, but I think he's shown he's the future of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah. You did know that before the season, though, right?
What?
that he was the future of the Los Angeles Lakers.
No, but he's showing that this is who they're going to build around. LeBron, he's gone, retired, you're out of here. Old news. Because last year, this
no
was
more
LeBron's
Hennessy
team.
ad.
Last year, this was LeBron's team. Now this is Luka's team. So
Yeah.
this is what it's going to come to, and I think it's going to let LeBron retire, and they're going to be just fine.
You know who's making the playoffs this year? The
I swear to
Portland
God, no, don't say that.
Trail
They didn't
Blazers.
even win today, did they?
Yes, they did. They beat the Warriors.
No, they did. They did.
They even in their loss to Minnesota, this is just a team with
You
an
can't-
influx of lengthy wings
They do have a lot of
and
runs, that's one
and
that's-
a Drew
Holiday.
Holiday that looks like he's enjoying playing basketball again. It's a fun team to watch. Like Jeremy Grant comes off the bench. I don't know how much longer he'll come off the bench. I know they just paid Kamara and Shaden Sharp, but Jeremy Grant looks like he's coming for that starting spot. I know he doesn't. I mean, he's a good defender, but Kamara's an all defensive defender. But this team looks good. Denny is 1 year or this year away from being an
Israeli
all-star.
Prince. I
What?
definitely could, the Israeli Prince. It definitely could be his year, but I think I view this Trailblazers team as a lot of similarities to that 2022 OKC team, to where they were kind of battling in the play-in against the Pelicans. So I think all that young talent, and they're eventually going to find like who is their guy, like who is the lead guy of this team, and I think they'll find out at the end of the year. But did Scoot Henderson play at all? Or I think he did.
He
Right?
did not know. He's been hurt, or out. Yeah.
He was out of a hamstring tear. So when he
Mhm.
comes back, I wonder if is Drew Holiday currently the starter?
Yeah, and Drew Holiday will stay the starter.
So who do you think they take out once he comes back, or does he come off the bench?
Nobody. He comes off the bench. I kind of thought that from the beginning of the year. Because Shaden Sharp and Kamara both solidified themselves last year.
Well, also Lillard once he comes back, so that's gonna be interesting because they're gonna have Henderson, they're gonna have Holiday, they're gonna have Lillard. So I'm gonna be interested to see how that goes because now I can kind of see how it might transfer to a playoff team once Lillard comes back. So
Yeah, but I don't know if Lillard comes back this year. He's older. That Achilles tear happened at much later on. I mean, it happened in the playoffs, so I don't know. We'll see. Chris Murray, Keegan Murray's brother, has looked really good. He was 6 for 7 today. He was also their whole team is just, they're so big. Pause. They're just like the defenders that are on vegan. Because I seen it, bro. There's like
you've seen it, Jesus.
they're just they're overwhelming. Like truly.
They are a big team. I'll give you that. Especially if like even though like their depth at the center position, you have like Yang Hansen.
Just cling in, bro.
Playing in
Cling in.
7'2". Yang Hansen's
Yes,
7'1".
bro. I witnessed him hit a 3 today. It was great. Yeah. No,
Klingen hit a 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen.
They got ultimate spacing.
Damn, they shot 47% from 3. Yeah, I think that's why the reason why they played so well against the Warriors is because their size advantage, especially with the Warriors, their center being Draymond Green, only being like 6 foot, 7.
I was really rooting for Utah to beat this Kings team today. I'd actually watched a lot of that game, but
I think the Kings are gonna be another solid team too. Definitely.
no, they're not, dude. I don't think.
You don't think they're gonna be good with Levine, Monk, Sabonis, Schroeder?
I mean, I think they'll be a playing team.
Those are 5 good players right there, and then you have Westbrook coming off the bench. Keon Ellis giving you defensive versatility. I don't know, man. I think
They called Westbrook for who was at the line? I think it was Denny was at the line. No, who was at the line? Levine was at the line, and they called. No, somebody was at the. Oh, Markkanen was at the line, and they called Westbrook in the very 10 seconds left. They called him for a lane violation on a free throw. Never see that happen. He was pissed, but
this was Westbrook's revenge game.
Against Utah.
Yeah, he used to be in the Jazz. You remember this? He's on the Jazz for like a day, and they bought him out. Then he went to the Clippers.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, but
Is that
I know ball.
that's back when Woj bombs were still a thing. R.I.P.
Let's see. How did East Bailey didn't play today? But was Walter Clayton played a good amount of minutes, 20.
He was closing the game for them. He was in at the end. Yes, he looks good. I mean, he's just confident in his shot. Yeah. Keontae George. Yeah, Keontae. Bro, both of the Georges are franchise players. They're going to be on their franchise for a very long time. Keontae and Keyshawn George are... Bro, Keyshawn George was cooking tonight. He had a career high in both rebounds and points. Yeah, the Mavericks could not stop him. It was like at one point, they were just still leaving him open. It was kind of like Aaron Gordon.
I feel like one of the more surprising games today was the Heat and the Grizzlies game being like such a big blowout. It was like a 30.
I watched the first like 30 minutes of that game, and it was a good game. And then all of a sudden they were down by 30, and I stopped watching. It was weird because day one, Ja Morant looked like the Ja Morant of 2022. He looked so good. He was like hitting shots. His floater was back to being his floater, and that team looked good. But yeah, I don't quite know how the wheels fell off. I know Bam shot an incredible percentage. He was hitting threes. That's kind of when I tuned out. But the Heat must have I think they just kind of had contributions from everyone.
I also think Cedric Howard's been playing pretty good too.
Oh, he's been so good, yeah. Especially in that first game. He's the perfect fit.
Especially replacing Bane. I feel like they're not gonna miss a beat getting Cedric Howard as well. And now they also got those picks for the next couple of years.
I'm really high on Jalen Wells too.
Jalen Wells is a good ass player.
He kind of showed glimpses last year, but he's knocking out the 3-ball this year, and he's just kind of a big wing that fits right alongside Ja. I like this team. I like the way that it was ran in the first game. It was basically just centered around the Ja Morant high pick and roll, and they were cooking off of that. But they're down Edey, which is big for them. They don't really run a center besides that. Jock Landale is not good, and they were like down in rebounding today, so.
They talked about the MVP candidates before now. The one guy that should be in there is Giannis. And the Bucks, they start 2-0. They got the new acquisition, Cole Anthony. I think he dropped like 20 today. He had a pretty amazing game. What do you take away from that game? Because I know you watched, I think you said the whole thing, right? So like, what was something you take away from the Bucks? How they're looking post the Dame era, and what do they kind of translate now to their team? I
mean, I said it in the first episode we recorded. It's the Giannis team. Like, everything is centered around Giannis. And, I mean, he went 2 for 2 from 3 today. If you tell me that Giannis goes 2 for 2 from 3, I'm going to tell you the Bucks won. Because if they have to even kind of respect him, it's over. Like, he's just unstoppable. He's just a force. I think a lot of people kind of had overreactions with the Spurs and Wemby in the first game, and saying that he's just this dominant force, and while Wemby is, like, Giannis is the dominant force of the NBA.
Yeah,
and I think you mentioned it, but Cole Anthony shooting the way that he shot and providing the playmaking and ball handling that he did it can take this Bucks team to a next level if it's something that is of any consistency.
Yeah, and then I definitely think their bench is looking really good this year. You got Ryan Rollins, Bobby Portis, AJ Green. And then Miles Turner this year is also going to give more of like a better defensive presence than what Brook Lopez gave over the years, and he's also still going to provide that 3-point threat. So even though he didn't play too good today, I think it gives Giannis more of an open lane and more of an open like defensive mindset for the rest of the Bucks team. And I feel like they're playing more freely this year too, and I feel like maybe Doc Rivers could save his job.
Yeah, no, Turner's definitely struggled to shoot the ball, and their numbers off, like when it's just one of them on the court, is actually better than it's when it's both of them. And you definitely kind of see that, especially when they play together at the beginning of the game, because the spacing is weird. I think they'll figure it out, and I think his shot will come to him, but the spacing is definitely weird with them both on the floor, especially at times when they have Portis out there. It's like 3 centers, but
yeah,
they'll figure it out. I tell you though, Bobby Portis, he's not going to get you all the buckets that you need, but the buckets that he gets, like his height and just the way that he looks, hitting step-back threes, it's just a fun sight. Bobby Portis is a fun player to watch.
Yeah, I think another guy is going to find his way out of the team, though, because the the amount of depth they have at the wing position already is probably Kyle Kuzma. The guy, and also he's also probably the most tradable player of his cap space, being like I think it's around like what $25 million, and I could probably see him being in trade talks eventually. But how do you think the Raptors how they look with Brandon Ingram playing his first couple of games, and how he kind of gels with Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, the three-wing trio?
Bi looks really good. I think he has kind of shown that he's worth the money that he got. When I first saw that they paid him $30 million, I was like, that's kind of an overpay. Like, Brandon Ingram's good, but we haven't seen much of Brandon Ingram in the past 3 years. But he's worth every penny. He looks really good. And this team just needs to figure something out. Like, it's just
They do have the talent, it just seems
quickly just does not look like he needs to be a point guard. Like, he just brings the ball down and kind of has tunnel vision. He really can't finish at the rim. He's not hitting threes. RJ Barrett has been another bright spot on this team. He's looked really good. He shot well in the first game and the second game. Yeah.
Yeah, RJ's definitely became into his own with the Raptors. But one thing I'll say about Quickly for being a Knicks fan, I think a lot of the time the reason why he never got that nod to be the starting point guard for the Knicks even before the Brunson era was because his lack of playmaking. The way he can't really see the floor that well, and also his ball handling isn't really known to be the best. So a lot of times he actually can't create his own shot, get to the basket. It's not something that came easy to him. He's more known as like a shot chucker from deep threes or like just getting something in transition. So he's never really been known for ball handling and playmaking. It's been known for like being a six man. So I think that's something they're going to try to find. A lot of teams that aren't a successful team in the NBA do not have a starting point guard. That's something, once again, they will have to find. But they do have options like Scotty Barnes. I know played point guard for a little bit, and I think it did work pretty well. So they definitely do got the versatility to try different things out. But I think the Raptors are going to be a sneaky team this year.
Yeah, I disagree.
You don't think they're going to be good?
No, I think they kind of caught the Hawks off guard in that first game. They kind of just ran them at the gym, and the Hawks really didn't. The Hawks just played horrible. They're just like the team just looks clunky. That's like really the only word I can describe. They just look clunky.
Too many wings.
Too many wings. Just too many wings, and just not like no real big man presence and no real guard presence. Like, I really like Jamal Shed, and like the minutes that he's provided off the bench. He's kind of struggled at the beginning of the year. But I mean, yeah, but he's a guard. He's not a wing.
I mean, he is a point guard, but like he's not like a operator of the offense.
Yeah. I don't know.
They have so much money allocated in their top four guys. It's going to be kind of hard for them to try to figure something out. I think it's just kind of what they have is what they're going to go with, and hopefully quickly just learn how to see the court better. But that's
yeah,
the limit, so.
They're in a tough spot because I think that when you look at this team right now, I don't think they're going to move Pirtle, and I think the two guys where
he's not going anywhere.
You're like, Scotty Barnes is our franchise guy. We're not moving him. And I don't think you can move Brandon Ingram.
RJ Barrett's hard to move.
Yeah, well, that's
his contract, so it's
that's the thing.
It makes it almost impossible for him to get traded.
Jakob Poeltl, they're not moving. Scotty Barnes is their franchise player. If I'm the Raptors, I don't want to move Brandon Ingram because of the way that he's looked. And then if I'm any other team, like, I don't want RJ Barrett. I don't want Emmanuel Quickly. Like, if I'm trying to contend, those aren't guys that I want.
I think the RJ Barrett one, I think he might have a desirable destination for other teams. Emmanuel Quickly is going to be the hard one to find of him being a $30 million average point guard. So I think I think that's their biggest problem is paying him, because I feel like they felt the need to pay him because they traded OG Anunoby, so they felt the need to have to pay him because RJ was already on the contract, but you're losing quickly, so it kind of looks like he lost the trade. So they made sure they paid him. He hasn't really been healthy, and he's just kind of struggles as a point guard. He kind of doesn't see the floor like that, but he is a good defender, so maybe he could figure it out. So, but I don't think the Raptors are going to be a bad team this year. I think they definitely got a lot of young talent. I can see like 44 wins.
I mean, I don't know.
You don't believe in them at all? I feel like they're very similar. I think they're very similar to the Orlando Magic.
No.
Like in terms of how the roster's constructed, they're a very similar team. The way they have their wings, defensive team.
They don't have a player that touches Franz Wagner. I'm sorry, they don't.
Scotty Barnes. I think Scotty Barnes is better than him.
You think Scotty Barnes is better than? I think Franz Wagner is far and above Scotty Barnes. Right now, Franz,
my God.
have you haven't watched Franz Wagner?
I have watched Franz Wagner.
I think
Wait,
Franz
this is the next
Wagner. I think Franz Wagner is better than Paulo right now.
Franz Wagner has no defense.
I think he's improved, and he's hitting the 3-ball this year. That's the one thing that was missing out of his offensive game is the 3-ball, and he's hitting that. He hit it in Eurobasket, and he's hitting it right now. He looks like an all-star. He looks so
think?
good.
I feel like if you replace Scotty Barnes with Franz Wagner, I think Scotty Barnes will be playing how the way he's playing this year. I think because he's in a better system, a system that's more spacious, a system that has better guards. I think he'd play better with them. And his defense, I think it would actually elevate the Magic if they brought him over. Because they would have no holes on defense. Franz Wagner is the guy they attack.
I don't think... I disagree. I really just disagree. I can't... No, I'm still stuck. I don't think this Raptors team is going to be good at all. I really
didn't say
do
they're going to
not.
be a contender, but I think they're going to be a sneaky team that can make some noise in the play-in or in the play-in. I think they'd be a...
I think the Heat look.
They normally are in like the top 10 seeds though. So I mean, especially the weak East.
I think the Heat is better than them. I think
the thing that separates the Heat is the coaching. It's just really with Spo with his experience.
They have been the biggest surprise to me.
The Heat,
because I did not think that I was very low on the Heat, and they gave they were up on the Magic the entire game, and then they blew the socks off of the Grizzlies with no Tyler Hero. Davion Mitchell.
You're gonna play.
Davion Mitchell has been good.
Davion Mitchell's a beast. That is a good ass player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not gonna score, but he's gonna play really good defense, and he's also a really good passer too. So.
Yeah.
Hero did not play today. It was a big game from Jovic though. Jovic had 20. And then bam. I mean, they definitely have the talent. It's just like when Butler left, it was just kind of like who was the lead guy, and that's what they're gonna find. And think that.
Yes, and Butler or Adebayo needs to do that. Like Adebayo's been. I said this in the first episode too, but like he kind of emerged in like 2022, 2023 as being a great player, and he's never really taken that step into like I'm that guy. And I think this is the perfect opportunity for him to do it, especially if he's shooting the 3-ball. Like his defensive versatility is unquestionable.
Oh, yeah, he can guard 125.
Exactly. So if he's able to then just take a step in his offensive game, this Heat team can be really good, and he can solidify himself.
Yeah, I think the thing about Bam Adebayo, I just think he's kind of like out of ceiling what he could be, but I feel like with Tyler Hero, this might be his year of being the lead guy, especially being the youngest, younger than Bam, and he might take the more lead role because he kind of did once Butler left. And what did he have his best year last year, averaging like 22?
Yeah, he was an all-star last year,
and he was also playing point guard. And he was actually doing it pretty well. And I remember when the Knicks were playing him, even without Butler, he was like unstoppable, just like dropping 40, like. The guy, I think he's gonna emerge as like the Heat's like main guy, and I think with their surrounding talent like Kello Ware, you got Bam, you got Davion Mitchell, I think Andrew Wiggins is still there too, right?
Yeah, he's looked good too.
They got Norman Powell coming off the bench, so they definitely got the talent. So it definitely does come off surprising with them losing Butler, so you didn't know how they were gonna be, but they do got the talent to be a playoff team or playoff caliber team, so to speak. So.
Yeah, no, maybe this is the perfect opportunity because right now. Not that their team is terrible, but right now it's like with Tyler Hero being out, he kind of has to be that guy. So if he like develops his game more now and gains like that confidence, then when Tyler Hero comes back, if they're able to kind of play and mesh well together, then maybe this team can be good.
Yeah, Tyler Hero last year shot his best from field goal percentage, and he dropped 24 a game.
Yeah,
so he had a career year all around, and yeah, I mean he shot 57% from 2-point range. Anything with inside the arc, and he was an all-star for the first time in his career. So I think he definitely could transform into their main guy. And he just didn't play today, but yeah, I think the Heat definitely got the talent of a playoff team. So it'd be interesting to see how they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you think of any year 2 players that have stuck out to you as taking a huge leap? Zachary Richese has been out.
That draft class was not very good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like I can tell you Wemby though, how good he's looked. I mean, the first game he just looked unstoppable. Did you see like that step back three hit and the windmill dunk, and then like the guy might finish at the end of his career as the all-time block leader. Because like literally all he does, just like anytime you shoot when you're the ball near him in the paint, this shit's getting swatted away. Like you're not gonna make a single shot. So I think he's another guy you can look as an MVP candidate this year too, and how dangerous the Spurs can be.
They went into overtime with the Pelicans today. He had 9 blocks going into overtime. He almost had a triple-double off blocks, and he fouled out. He would have had a trip-double off blocks.
He's just ridiculous. He's like, there's no answer for him.
Here's my thing about Wemby is he looked unstoppable in that first game, but I think part of that was the way that they defended him.
Well, I think the problem was because they couldn't even put Anthony Davis on him because they tried, and he got into foul trouble because of it. So that's something they're going to run into is because he's 7'4", so it's like you're going to have to try to reach up to try to defend him, and that's going to create fouls because you're putting your body contact into him. So that's the problem you're going to run into facing Wemby. And honestly, in my opinion, you might benefit from you can't even put a center on him because he's literally just a guard and that's a 7'4" body. So you're better at putting wings and your power forward on him. But your center he's not going to do anything. So like you looked at how bad Derek Lively looked, like he couldn't even stay with him because it's just like something you're not used to as a center. The guy people do like behind the backs, step back threes like at 7'4". So it's gonna be a problem for most centers in the league.
Yeah, no. So kind of how they do with Jokic is they always. Like, what OKC does is they'll put Hartenstein on Jokic, kind of the bigger, burly guy, to, like, hang with him. They'll have Chet Romer. Or they have Chet, the lengthier guy, like, roam off the rim. I think that'd be perfect if you kind of have just, like, a lengthy wing on Wemby just to kind of get those contests, and then you have your big in the paint just to kind of be there for that secondary help. I think that'd be good. But as... He's going from shooting like 8 threes a game to like how many did he shoot today? He shot 2 in the first game. I think he maybe shot 2 today. I think they're just exactly. I mean that's less than 8. I think teams are better off just kind of not letting him shoot that, but like as opposed to like giving him any sort of.
He pulled a lot of threes last year. Yeah, he might be cutting it down this year because he might be seeing he has a better chance of trying to drive to the paint and settle for a better shot. Because last year he would take a lot of logo threes just because he's 7'4", he's got a better range, but maybe about like 80% of the time that shot wasn't going in. So he's kind of taking that shot out of his game. I don't think I've seen him take one of those yet. So he's getting to his better spots, getting to the paint using his size, and he definitely is bigger than he was last year. So he's definitely using his 7'4" frame more than his shooting range. So I definitely think you're going to see less threes this year from him because I think he took like 9 a game last year. So
yeah, no, but I think teams are better off kind of not necessarily letting him have it, but also like letting him have that as opposed to giving him any leeway to the range.
Yeah, he shot 2 the first game.
Or to the rim.
I think last year he shot I think it was 8 a game. But yeah, no, his 3-point shooting was down the first 2 games.
Yeah.
So last year he shot. Because I remember when I was playing the Knicks on Christmas, this dude was launching like 10 threes. Yeah, last year he shot 8.8.
He spazzed on Christmas. I remember that.
He shot 8.8 a game. His rookie year he shot 5.5, and then this year so far,
I was right. I told you.
Size would be like 2.7. So yeah, he's definitely under that 2-point shooting.
Two and a half,
somewhere around there. That was an estimated guess. I didn't even see the stat, so it was like 2.7.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think one thing with the Spurs though, what's gonna make them so dangerous is like Fox isn't even back yet. So you're gonna have Dylan Harper, you're gonna have Vassell, and you're gonna have Stephon Castle as like your top 4 guard combo. I really can't even tell you there's a better combo in the league right now.
Dylan Harper is another fun rookie to watch. I feel like they just stick out as being so comfortable. Like those top guys, they just look like they're ready. You know.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Dylan Harper struggled shooting today, but he did a good job of like getting downhill, and I feel like the biggest thing is that he understands like I need to get the ball to Wemby. Like Wemby's the hub. Like we are good in Wemby.
Definitely gonna be interested to see what they do when Fox comes back though, because he's definitely not coming off the bench.
No. Oh, no. It'll be... I mean, Dylan Harper's coming off the bench right now. They've run with...
Castle's starting.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
but I
then,
think they'll start Fox and Castle, and then move.
Yeah, they're really a deep team. They got Champagny.
Yeah, they run a lot of double big too. They run a lot.
Oh my God,
of,
Cornette and Wemby. That's just not fair. That's
No.
that's 7'3" and 7'4". That's just not
No.
gonna even.
That's what they've been doing.
That's so
though.
bad. How you can't you literally can't even get to the paint on that.
No,
Yeah, it's
that's
just-
maybe it was just because they were playing against Zion, so they were trying to force him to like shoot like
Wemby you can play power
Pull-ups.
forward for his versatility. Yeah, like
yeah.
I don't even know how you would. That would be an interesting matchup in the playoffs. Seeing the Thunder go against that because they got their double bigs. They can that's the tallest players in the league. And then you got Wemby and Luke Cornette. So
Yeah, Luke Cornett played 34 minutes tonight.
how'd the Suns look though? They looked any.
They,
Is it like Booker and friends?
yeah, they won their first game. It was like they were losing to the Kings the whole game, and then like Dylan Brooks went Dylan Brooks and like got in DeMar DeRozan's face and was like yelling, and then Devin Booker kind of spazzed, and then they went off and won. But I mean, I tried to watch some of them against the Clippers. It's just kind of a boring team to watch unless like Devin Booker is
I don't know why they're not
spazzing.
playing Kawhi Malawach though. He didn't play last game.
No. Well, Iguodala is their starter.
I'd rather play Nick Richards 5 minutes and play Kawhi Malawach. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean he's a very like unpolished big though. Like he could be good, but he just has probably a lot to learn. He's young too, isn't he? Super young.
But who do you think so far is
19.
like the best? Like who do you take away as the winners of the first week so far, and who's like the losers that were like just in terms of teams and players?
I think that the biggest loser probably so far. No, I'll start with. I think the Warriors are probably the biggest winner. I know they're 2-1, but they very much so surprised me. Just as to like how they've started, I really thought they were gonna be a middle of the pack team, but Curry's playing as great as ever, and I guess Steve Kerr has him cooking again. The Knicks would also be a huge winner. I mean, for them to. I know you're always looking for teams to like exceed expectations and come out of the mud, but for a team to have such high expectations and meet those expectations, and like in an in-depth way, like it's not just like they came out and they're playing the way that they played last year and they're winning. Obviously, we expected some changes with Mike Brown, but for it to be so like statistically and just like schematically different is a huge win for them.
Who's your loser?
Who is my loser? I don't know. Like no team has really stuck out to me as being like an insane loser. I mean, I guess you could say probably the Mavericks. The Mavericks, because
Yeah, that's
any expectation that you had for this team, I think, has kind of gone down the drain. It's
I don't know.
just
I don't know if I'm about down the drain, but I definitely think they haven't looked that promising so far. But
Yeah.
especially with Cooper Flagg's hype, thinking he's going to come in here and drop like 20 a game.
yeah. No, another team we didn't even talk about I was pleasantly surprised by the Pacers, and Benedict Mathurin specifically. He looked really good. He's in one of those he's one of those he's eligible for his rookie max and they didn't give it to him, or it's like a rookie extension, and I think he's gonna earn his money. I think he's gonna get paid.
I think he's a winner.
Yeah, I think Benedict Mathurin is a big winner. Yeah,
I think my choice would be for the winner would be Cole Anthony. I think because he gets to truly like play a true point guard role now with the Milwaukee Bucks, and stuff can be more expanded as he dropped 25 today, and he's also upped his assist game. And then he just only played 12 minutes last game, but in this 12 minutes he had 5 assists, and today he had 7 in another 25 minutes of playing. So with the Magic, he was under Suggs and Cole Anthony. And another team we're gonna give a win is the Sixers with their guard tandem. With you have B.J. Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and people are forgetting about Jerry McCain, who would have been the rookie of the year if he not got hurt, and he's gonna come back. So just think about how good that Sixers team actually can be once they have McCain back as their backup point guard, and hopefully Joel Embiid can learn how to jump. So I think the Sixers are a big winner. And my loser, I'd probably go with the Cavs right now. As a team that started 17-0, I think it was last year. They're already 0. Well, they're 1-1 now, and they're struggling with injuries of Darius Garland. You got like Max Strus out. There's like Dean Wade, and like they're playing Tyrese Proctor. So I think they would be my loser right now.
Yeah, that's another game that I watched like the beginning of it, and then they started to blow the Nets out of the water, and then the Nets kind of like
They
came back.
Yeah,
they did.
Game. I was surprised when I saw that. It was like 20 points in the game.
Yeah. I'm glad that you brought up the Sixers though. I didn't even think about them. That's it's nice for them to have something like the whole Joel Embiid situation happen, to where it's like that's our franchise player and he like is a non-factor. He shouldn't be playing. Like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
You see, like, hey, he got blocked by dude, he's like 6'6". Who did they play the first game? They played the
Celtics.
So they got the guy I can't pronounce his name. Exempta or whatever. I don't know. I can't even tell you.
Are you talking about Baylor Shireman?
Is that no? Wait.
Are you talking about the center?
Wait, why did there's like this guy that's like XE.
Xavier Tillman?
No, but okay, Xavier Tillman.
Keita?
The guy. Yeah, him.
Nemes Keita's a center.
That's what I'm saying. The guy's like short as hell and he blocked Embiid, or unless it was Xavier Tillman. I don't know. But one of those guys that are not a tall center, it's like way shorter than Embiid, was able to just block a shot in standing. So it was just like he does not look right. And I mean, I think he should just generally retire. I think his career is over.
Man, he's got so much money on the table.
That needs to be clipped. No, I just said his career's over, so I could like TikTok edits.
Yeah, but if you, but good for Sixers fans. They got
all right. They got Edgecombe.
They got Edgecombe. They got Maxey, Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that, man. Like, in time, it's legend right there.
Yeah.
I think they definitely got a high upside. They're definitely going to be an entertaining team for the next couple of years. They're young talent at guard position, so Edgecombe can play small forward as well too. So it's interesting to see once McCain comes back how you're going to play that. So.
Mm-hmm. I got one last question for you. What team? So you said earlier that the first week of basketball is the most meaningless basketball. What team? What they've shown us in this first 4 days is completely not them, and they're going to completely change.
It's a hard question. I'm not gonna lie.
For better or for worse.
Well, the Nuggets only played one game, so I can't really say them because Jokic is really bad.
I personally,
I'd go with the Rockets. Them starting 0-2 is definitely not what I thought. I thought they were going to be they probably still can be like they were last year, top 2 seed. But them starting 0-2 was definitely not my bingo card. I thought they're definitely going to take one of the first 2 games, especially when they lost to the Pistons today. I thought they would beat the Pistons. I think they're a way more talented team. You got Kevin Durant, a guy that's definitely still a top player right now. And you got the talent like Asar around him. You got Tyree Easton, you got Jabari Smith Jr., you got Albert Sengun, a top 3 center or top 5. So I definitely was surprised to see them drop the first 2 games, and they did play OKC really tight and close, but then they lost to the Pistons today, another game. So they seem to be struggling with pulling away the late game situation. So that was something they were kind of really good at last year. And I think one thing they're missing is their enforcer in Dylan Brooks, but I think they're definitely going to turn around. I definitely think they're not going to be a bad team. They're starting 0-2. So who would be that for you?
I think that the Magic team, who has looked good to slightly better than mediocre, is going to look phenomenal the rest of the year. I think once their pieces get comfortable with each other, I think they're going to be amazing. I think Franz and Paulo are both all-stars, and I think you're going to eat every word that you said about it.
I didn't think Franz was bad. I just think I prefer to have Scotty Barnes.
Okay. Who do the Giants play this week?
Got the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, in Philly, right?
No A.J. Brown or Cam Jurgens.
Yeah, I keep seeing Philly fans on my timeline saying that's
They should have won
BTA.
last week.
You want to talk about it?
Sure, might as well.
Is Bo Nix the best quarterback in football, or is he the worst quarterback in football? The world may never know.
He's like a fringe top 15 quarterback. He's in too much of a gimmick offense. If you look at his touchdown to Troy Franklin, that shit was literally off a batted pass. And then did you see the completion of Marvin Mims in the last drive of the game?
That was a good pass.
That was a dagger concept.
that one.
That was a dagger concept meant to go to Cortland
Sutton.
He completely missed it right to Marvin Mims.
Yeah.
That was so horrible. Yeah.
Am I crazy? Am I
Or
crazy to
19
say
passes.
that Cortland Sutton
Crazy.
Cortland Sutton is we did have
You
that
remember
argument. We did have that argument.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield's like the MVP right now.
I forgot we had that argument.
We're about to say Cortland Sutton.
He's like the most underrated receiver in the league. I think he's so good. His just jump ball contested catching is crazy, and he just doesn't get talked about ever.
I think he was a lot similar to when Kenny Galladay was with the Lions. He was a very underrated receiver. Not to talk him out too much because he's not going to make those explosive plays, but he uses his big body to make spectacular catches and the hard ones to make. But I definitely think he is like a top 15 receiver around that area. And he got paid like one too, so I definitely think he's a good wide receiver.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Burns? Is that DPOY right there?
I think he's definitely having Defensive Player of the Year season, being top 5 in pressures. He leads the league in sacks and tackles for loss. But right now, Nick Bonito has a 20% chance of winning DPOY. So we'll see how it goes. I don't think Nick Bonito's going to get it as he gets stonewalled by Andrew Thomas this past weekend. I think Ryan Burns is having a way better season. But I think with the Broncos having a winning record, I think that's going to benefit him more than Ryan Burns having a better season. But
you know what upsets me is, even this last week, you could like call my bluff, but even, bro, Pat Surtain is, like he's doing the same crap he did last year.
Yeah, he's definitely the best corner of football. I think
Just because he won it
catch.
last year, he doesn't like get any recognition. But he's so good. He is so
the thing
good.
with Surtain last year is that he had the interception, so it was like not only was he a shutdown corner, he also had like 6 picks. So,
Yeah, but nobody throws to him.
no, they're not going to do that. So that's why he's not going to notice as much. But yeah, the voters' fatigue is going to definitely play a part in that, to where he's not going to win again. Because I can't really tell you the last time there's been a back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm thankful that he got it once, but
He did
Nah.
get once.
yeah. Yeah, I keep seeing people, especially Broncos people, vouch for Riley Moss on my timeline. I'm tired of that, bro. Keep that over there. Keep that over there. It's fuck Riley Moss this way. I do not like Riley Moss. I know he plays basically
He's one of
the
our boys.
bro. I know he
He was
plays
proud of it. He's a corner.
basically
You can't make us look bad.
the hardest position in football because he has to play on the other side of Pat Surtain. But bro, he just I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong.
I don't know why Jahadi Barron's not playing outside. He's playing the nickel role more, so I don't really know why. That's not what he did in college. I mean, he played it very limited. I think it was like 20% in college. He played nickel corner, so I think they need to put him on the outside more.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to ease him into it.
It might be what it is, but he's playing a good amount. They're what's his name? They're basically spending time with McMillan. I think his name is.
Jaquan McMillan.
So I think they need to get more Jahadi Barron outside and put McMillan in the slot or nickel. So
Yeah, I feel like quarter though. That's a tough position to just kind of.
it is
jump
definitely the hardest
into.
position in football. So I mean, but Surtain didn't have problems with here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He had problems this
Well, I
second
mean,
year
was-
too.
Well, he wasn't. I wouldn't say he had problems. He was obviously not what he was now, but he was a good corner in his first 2 years.
Yeah. Who's y'all's best corner?
Cordell Flott. Now, as you go to JPod Sports, we did recently make a post about him. If you guys want to go check that out.
Shoot. Link in the description.
Link in the description. JPod Sports, go check it out. I'm out here on the nut take. Now on here, do you just go by Jack, or do you have like a code name like
Shoot.
or
Big nut in the cut.
the nut in the cut.
No, did I tell you I'm coaching
The nut-
a
The
team?
nut shies.
I'm coaching a basketball team, like
Well,
an
I might
8th
be-
grade
I might be
boys
doing that
basketball
too.
team.
Yeah, you did tell me about that. I might be doing the same thing. There was like volunteers, so I might.
Oh, I get paid. But bro,
You get-
first
you get- you do
practice. Yeah, well, I mean it's just $1,000 for the season, but
Where is this? Like, why can't? Do you have to like try out for that somehow, or like get approved, or do you just kind of like?
no, I just told I've roughed basketball for 8 years. I was like,
So
Okay.
what's your scheme, like your offensive scheme?
Shoot.
Can't tell me your scheme is.
Heavy pick and roll. Circle motion.
It's more of like a play. You're not like a perimetric centric offense or triangle.
Hey, this is not a high quality 8th grade team. We gotta get down pass and cut before we get into schemes.
Now, what kind of defense do you run?
Oh man.
you don't switch it up and go to like a 2-3 zone. One of the more popular defenses in 8th grade is like a 1-3-1
Bro,
zone
I've
like
been
that.
I've been to 2 practices, bro. 2 practices.
I'm
Bro,
already planning
bro,
what I'm gonna implement here with like 5th graders.
bro,
I'm
first
running all types of zones.
no, but like they encourage.
I'm gonna be like Coach Carter. Like I'm gonna make you run until you die.
I don't know if this is just our league, but they encourage you to run a man to better develop.
You have to
our
run a
youth.
man.
To better develop
required.
our youth.
That's not how that works.
They highly encourage it.
A zone defense actually shows better teamwork.
Yeah. No, but first practice, I'm Coach Jack Nutter. You can call me Coach Nutter or Nut.
You're not gonna be like Nut Chaz.
Bro.
Jack the Nut Chaz. That go to I think that's what it needs to be.
Bro, Nut and Co. Nut and Gang. Nut in the gang.
Nut Chaz. J Nut R.
Do you have anything else before I go to bed?
That's it, bro. You're the host. And whenever you want.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the second episode of the Nut Take. I was Are you at home right now? Is that why you were able to do this with me?
Yes, I am at home right now. I had to have some free time.
Okay.
But there will be more in the future.
Sounds
I'll definitely
good.
be back.
Alright. Everybody have a blessed night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, John, for joining me.
Appreciate it for having me.
We out of here.
Peace out.